Fulham are in. We're back in the Premier League. I am absolutely over the moon, and I think every Fulham fan is, obviously. Scott Parker, I remember speaking after the game against Leeds United when we lost 3-0, and I just thought, I don't think he's up to the task of taking us up. I don't see him causing us or taking us towards a promotion push. And I was proved wrong, and a lot of fans were proved wrong, and I think that the defensive structure since that game was much better. And obviously we got into the playoffs, and we talk about the playoffs. We just about got through the second leg against Cardiff, and we're playing the final against a very, very, very good Brentford side, and we did a job on them. And this is not me pointing the finger at Brentford or poking them and saying take the L or whatever. Like, we did a job on them, basically with great tactical nous from Parker, basically just stopping Benrahma, stopping Watkins, stopping Mbuemo, causing us problems, and in the midfield we dominated, and Josh Onuma and Harrison Reed making vital interceptions, and Hector, fantastic defensive work at the back. I tell you what, it was really a nervy game to watch, as the playoff final always is, as it always is. And let's talk about the goals, because Joe Bryan, someone had told me he'd be the one to take us up with his goals, whatever. I'd be like, no way. But what I quite like about, actually we'll come on to the second goal in a second. The first goal, Parker's obviously told him, Raya's obviously well about his goal, and what a ping it is. I mean, he could easily not get that in from 40 yards, wherever he's shooting from. Gets it in the corner, whips it in. Incredible. Like, I still can't believe it. And then the second goal, this is my point, was that I'm really pleased that Mitrovic set up Bryan after all the goals that Mitrovic has scored, where Bryan set him up. Then they got a goal back, but the game was done, and we're promoted. And yes, it's fantastic. What a night! What a fantastic evening, and great celebrations down at Craven Cottage as well with all the Fulham fans. I'm just so delighted. It doesn't really come across, maybe I'm slightly hanging, but I'm delighted that we're back in the Premier League. We're going to be up against 19 very, very good competitive teams. Let's do things better this time, please. Let's do things better. Let's be sensible in the market. Let's not go splashing the cash. Let's, we've got our own way of dealing with the market and dealing with our own transfers. We can't be like, oh, let's do what Norwich did, or obviously please don't do what Norwich did, because that didn't work out. Saying, oh, Sheffield United, blah. We're our own club. We do our things our own way, but hopefully we learn from those mistakes that we made in the summer of 2018. So many exciting games to look forward to. Hopefully fans are back and loud in the ground as soon as possible, because I really, really would like to go to the games, because we're in the Premier League. Obviously season tickets still need to come out, the kit needs to come out, so much to come, and already we're getting linked with Ryan Sessegnon to come back on loan. Look, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if it does, happy days. And I tell you what, Scott Parker, last night he was emotional, and we really got to see a different side of him, and I think the fans have fallen in love with him even more than we did before, in terms of the way he got into the playoffs and stuff. Yes, we've been critical of him and Bryan this season, and Bryan's the one who takes us up. It's a funny thing, football, isn't it? It's a funny thing. Everyone's saying the left-hand side is the weak point, and yet the goals come from the left back, Joe Bryan. I'm so happy. Honestly, I haven't stopped looking at Twitter all day. I haven't stopped smiling all day. It's going to be like this for a while. I'm really, really pleased, and we'll just see what the Premier League brings us. It's a quick turnaround. It's 12th of September. That's when everyone else starts as well, the EFL. And I can't wait to watch the Championship as well, because I love watching the Championship from a neutral point of view when we're not in it. But anyway, let's talk about the actual Premier League, because that's where we are. Brentford, good team. They'll lose players, but they'll go again. Their transfer strategy is good enough. I was going to say, let's try and do things better this time. Let's try and give ourselves respectable 38 games, a 38 game stint in the Premier League. Fulham are up into the Premier League alongside Leeds and West Brom. There's going to be some cracking fixtures next season, honestly, in the Premier League. It's a really good lineup. If you look at the 20 teams, it's quite vintage. If you take out Brighton and Burnley and stick in like Birmingham and Blackburn, you've got a really good like vintage Premier League lineup. But obviously, respect to Brighton and Burnley, deserve to be in the Premier League. And look, we're going to join them. I still, even saying it now, I still can't believe it. I don't want to drag on for too long. I want this to be like a quick, nice little recap on last night. Fulham won by 2-1 against Brentford. The bragging rights, it's great, but you know, let's not stick the needle in too far, because it can come back to haunt us. You just never know. You know, we made poked holes at Aston Villa all season. They ended up staying up, but thank God we're in the same division as them, so actually we can, you know, compete with them next season, compete with the likes of Palace and West Ham. I think Newcastle will be one of the weaker teams next season because of the whole you know, ownership saga that kind of went on. But anyway, we're here to talk about Fulham. I'll wrap it up. I just am delighted, and I really hope that the Fulham fans enjoy this, savour the moment, enjoy the window and everything that throws up with it. Let's try not get too carried away with signings and the money, because, and that was my next point. I'll literally quickly wrap this up. 135 million, when we've got parachute payments as well. Like, if it doesn't go well, the parachute payments are there to help us. Let's not think about the parachute payments too much, but we've got a lot of money that we can reinvest in youth development, the training ground, players, everything with the Premier League. And because the Premier League becomes a bigger conglomerate every year, more money gets pumped in, which means a greater share, a greater slice of the cake for teams that are in it. And look, if we finish like 17th next season, which I'll take any day of the week, you know, that's like 110 million in the bank. I don't even know the correct statistics on that, but that is the news. Fulham are up with West Brom and Leeds. We've beaten Brentford in the playoff final. West London is ours at the moment. Enjoy the summer. We'll be back soon, and hopefully I'll be back with some transfer rumours for you in the next few weeks. Come on, Fulham. We'll see you in the actual Premier League.